Hey guys, welcome to Blariana United. Manchester United has just beaten Paris Saint-Germain by 3-1, and I have no idea. I have no idea what just happened. This was supposed to be a Real Madrid video about what's going wrong with them and what we're not supposed to be doing, but if what we saw yesterday was weird, what we saw today was just absolutely insane. Let's start with the lineups. Ole Gunnar Solksjaer decided to start with a lineup of David De Gea, Shaw, Lindelof, Smalling, Bay, Pereira, Fred, McTominay, Young, Rashford, and Lukaku. And Thomas Tuchel decided to go with Buffon, Thilo Kehrer, Silva, Kimpembe, Bernat, Verratti, Marquinhos, Alves, Di Maria, Draxler, and Mbappe. Manchester United play with a 4-4-2, and PSG play with a 3-4-2-1 formation. And it was weird from the first 2 minutes. Lukaku hunts a ball from a bad pass from Kehrer, and 1-0. Rounds the goalkeeper, and it's 1-0. Then 10 minutes later, the Manchester United defense falls asleep, and Kylian Mbappe sends a ball through Bernat, and 1-1. And as you might have seen, this was just an unreal match. Multiple chances from PSG in the first half, I must say. They didn't took their chances. The second half, Kylian Mbappe had 2 golden opportunities and didn't take them either. And that's what the Champions League is. You take your chances or you're out. I think what a lot of people right now are discussing is about the penalty. In my opinion, that's not a penalty. That is not a penalty. Kimpembe is turning his body away from the ball. He's turning his back. And for me, he's not trying to play the ball with his hand. But it is totally up to the ref. And that's what the Champions League is. Yesterday, Ajax had a lot of luck to go through against Madrid. And today, Manchester United had luck against PSG. Also, want to comment about the Porto-Roma game. That was another lucky penalty call. I think Fernando was never getting to that ball, but Florenzi stupidly just grabbed him from the shirt, and that's a penalty in my book. It's lucky that they got it. I think the right penalty call, unlike the one at the PSG game, but that's football. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't get lucky. United opted to start with a very unorthodox lineup. I think Oli was just playing Hail Mary because I didn't give him a chance. No Paul Pogba, 10 first team players out with injury, and I think he just went with a Hail Mary, tried to give the youngsters a little bit of experience in the Champions League, and this has to be one of the greatest stories of the Champions League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as the manager, has just given the victory to Manchester United as he did against that famous comeback against Bayern Munich. And that is what football is. And this is why I keep saying to Barcelona fans that let's try to compete well. Let's try to compete well in all competitions, and especially let's try to compete well in La Liga, because leagues measure how regularly competitive a team is, and the most competitive team tends to win the league. That is why you're seeing teams like Bayern Munich, Juve, PSG, Barcelona, Manchester City, or at this point Liverpool. They're all competing with their respective league titles because they're the most consistent throughout the season. I think at the beginning of the round of 16, no one expected Ajax and Manchester United to go through in this ties, but they've gone through. Now I hope Barcelona can beat Lyon in the next round, and let's see if we can just win it, because I think this is the best opportunity that we're gonna have. This has to be one of the easiest seasons for Barcelona ever. I mean, you have a possibility of Ajax, Manchester United, Porto, I mean, no disrespect, Manchester United fans, Porto or Ajax fans, but on a blow-to-blow exchange, Barcelona should be beating all of you. They should, on paper. And this is the proof that I don't care about footballing argument that says I've won 4 out of the past 5 Champions Leagues, because that is not a good argument for me, because when weird things like this happen, I cannot be measuring, I cannot have that as a mirror of what I want to do, because I don't know, I cannot rely on luck to win football matches. I just can't. I can rely on our model to do things the right way, to play a certain style, high levels of possession, long elaborated transition play, opening up the field, using youngsters, promoting players from the youth academy. Those are all things that Barcelona need to do. And yeah, keep talking about the game. Marcus Rashford, he took the penalty as if he was the most experienced player ever. I think he's a fantastic player. I wouldn't mind if he came to Barcelona, to be honest. I'm gonna be soon releasing a series of my top 5 players in every position, and Marcus Rashford is in that list of my top 5 players in each position that I would like for Barcelona. De Gea was alright. He's still one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Dalot just showed a lot of good attitude. Lindelof and Smalling were rocks today. They were intercepting everything. Lindelof very confident, playing the ball out. Luke Shaw was very solid. I think he, after that horrible injury he had against PSV, he's come back and he cemented himself as one of the first names in that Manchester United team sheet. Fred was given a chance today. I think he took it well. Andres Pereira the same. Scott McTominay, I don't think he's anything too special, but he did a good job today. And Lukaku, I think he proved all his doubters wrong. I'm not a biggest fan of Lukaku, at least not for Barcelona, but he's a great goal scorer. He can do a job for you, and he just needs to gain confidence. Lukaku is a player that thrives with confidence. Manchester United fans are now going to be asking for Ole to be the Manchester United manager for next season. In my opinion, no, because he's a good manager, he's a good motivational manager, but especially this season, you have options of Allegri, Pochettino, Conte. I think they're all fantastic managers that should be given a chance. I think that the Manchester United fans should be aware that being a motivational manager only lasts you so long. I would be very pissed at the Manchester United players this season. To those that have been able to play like this the whole season, and to be honest, you should have been able to challenge for the title if you were playing like this from the beginning of the season. Regardless of what Mourinho was doing, you should have been able to challenge for the title. And now I want to talk about the Supercopa of Catalunya that was played today, where Barcelona fell 1-0 to Girona. And regardless of the Supercopa of Catalunya, I really don't care. I think it's more a game to give the youngsters some minutes. And I must say, I was really impressed with Todibo, with Riqui Puig. Alenya was very good again today. Wage and Miranda were pretty decent today. Silsen again. But I want to focus on Riqui Puig and Todibo. Riqui Puig, I'm not surprised at this moment. He's just ready to step up to the first team. He should be a first team player already, but I hope that he becomes a first team player next season. He cannot be playing as Segunda V next season. He has a great attitude. He's not scared of playing, of taking the initiative. I love that he organizes the play for us. He's like an Arthur or a De Jong. Like, he's that type of player. He's organizing the play. He's always asking for the ball at all moments of the game. And Todibo was really good today. As a defensive midfielder in the pivot position of Busquets, he has good reading of the game, of the play defensively. He's also very technically gifted, as we saw, not making the Girona player. And I think that he could be a valuable option at defensive midfielder, at center back next season to cover some games of the season. Or if not, send him out on loan to a team that plays in our style. But this cannot overshadow the signing of Matthijs de Ligt. Matthijs de Ligt must be here next season. I don't care what happens with all the other defenders. He must be a Barcelona player next season. I think that you could use him in the Ajax deal. Maybe 70 million, 50 million for Matthijs de Ligt plus Todibo on a 2-year loan deal. I think developing under Ten Hag would be fantastic. And we could lower the price of Matthijs de Ligt. Or loan him to, I don't know, Celta, Betis, Dortmund. Well, Dortmund have quite a lot of center backs right now. I think maybe you could loan him to Tottenham Hotspur because right now they're paying the stadium and cannot afford big signs. So maybe Todibo would be interesting to develop under Pochettino. But yeah, he just needs to get more experience, and I think he could be a valuable asset in the coming years. I think Riqui Puig is in the making to be a future star of Barcelona. I think if we can mold Frenkie de Jong to be that Busquets type player to improve his defensive reading of the game, then we could play a midfield of Riqui Puig, Frenkie de Jong, and Arthur, and I think that would just be phenomenal with two pacey wide wingers looking for the space. They can also perform many takens per game, and Messi playing as the false 9. I think we're gonna dominate football for the next couple of years. We can make that happen. Wage pretty solidly for me. Again, I know that he's a good defender. He has all the physical conditions to be a good fullback for Barcelona. It's just a shame that he has a lot of competition. Sergio Roberto, Semedo, Emerson, who's supposed to be a Barcelona player in 1.5 year long period. There's also Juan Miranda, who showed his things today. I think that he was more than capable of covering for Jordi Alba some games of the season. I would much rather see him make mistakes as a youngster playing for Barcelona than seeing just everyone scrutinize Sergio Roberto, Semedo, Vermaelen when they're covering a position that's not their own. So if someone's gonna perform poorly, let's give experience to the youngster, you know. Lenya, he could have equalized the game, but you know, it's a shame. Things happen. Sometimes the ball doesn't go in. He's still a great player. Oriol Busquets again show a few things pretty good. Abel Ruiz, he could be an option to cover for Luis Suarez, but he's not a starting quality option for Barcelona. And now to talk about Kevin Prince Boateng. And he was, for me, never an option, never a valuable option to play for Barcelona at striker position. I think I would have much rather give the minutes to Abel Ruiz, give more minutes to Malcolm, to Dembele, even to Coutinho. Like, if you need options to switch around, you should be using those type of players. Anyways, the 4 quarterfinalists left are Ajax, Tottenham Hotspur, Porto, and Manchester United. And yeah, I'll leave your comments in the comment section below. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time, Blaugranas.